Okay, while shooting and editing this video, I realized I'm going a little bit overboard with the length of this video. So if you want to skip to any part of this video, there will be chapter markers. But if you watch the whole video from beginning to the end, you're amazing, you're awesome. So I just received this big package and I'm really excited. I have 2 new patches for my Patreon. One is a little patch that you can use on your luggage where you can put your name and your contact information. And then another one is I like to kind of play around with these fun patches, motifs, and this is about the YKT original aquatic exploration crew, and you can receive, if you are on my Patreon, in the tier that is called YKT Originals, which are basically the die-hard fans for this channel. And when you are in that Patreon tier YKT Originals, you receive these achievements, either the patch, the patch where you can write your name, challenge coin, coffee mug, and now these are new patches that will be sent out to the YKT Originals pretty soon. And yeah, I'm really excited how these turned out. But this video is not about these patches, obviously. This is about everyday carry office bags, and I have a couple of them that I really wanted to show to you. So let's start with what's in those bags first. So the first bag that I show you in this review roundup is the Groundtruth RIKR, I forgot the name, 20-liter everyday carry backpack. But before I go into the review of specifically this bag, I will show you what I have been packing in all of the bags for the reviews of every single bag. So as mentioned, these bags are everyday carry bags for the office, and I tested them to carry all of my work essentials to work. The first basic essential is obviously my laptop. This is an old laptop. I want to upgrade it, but because I am editing on my Mac Studio predominantly, and when I'm at the office, I usually do not need a laptop, and I do use my Samsung Fold 5 phone for most of the things, but I wanted to, show you that you can carry a laptop. This is a MacBook Pro Intel Edition 15-inch Retina. The battery is basically dead. It doesn't work without a charger attached, and it is really slow, which is why I would love to upgrade it. But all of the bags can fit a 15-inch MacBook Pro. As I said, this is the Intel Edition. I'm not sure if the sizing and the width and the thickness has changed on the new M1, M2, M3 editions of the MacBook Pro, but I would assume that they are the same or smaller and not necessarily bigger. So that is in the laptop compartment. Again, this is first only what I bring. In the quick access compartment, I have some cough drops when I'm speaking a lot, a stand for my folding phone. As I said, usually I only bring my Samsung Fold 5, and I don't bring a laptop because I can easily just work on this for emails and research and taking note and stuff like that. So that's in the quick access compartment. I also store my extra wallet in there, but it is not here at the moment. Then going into the main compartment, first and foremost, I have my extended EDC in a pouch that I got from JB Outside. Check out his channel, by the way. I have my charger, a power bank from SharGeek, then a flashlight, some charging cable. So basically the items that I always need to bring, or at least that are good to have with me, that are all in this small little pouch. Then I have the Bellroy pencil case. This is my boo-boo kit. It has deodorant, ibuprofen, antihistamines, because it is still allergy season and stuff like that. In this boo-boo kit, this Bellroy pencil case. By the way, I'm sorry that I'm always repeating myself, but I like to remind you that all of the items are linked below, and those are affiliate links. If you consider buying any of these items, consider using one of those affiliate links, because you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And sorry if I always repeat myself with that, but maybe you want to support this channel, consider using those affiliate links. And if you do so, thank you very much. Then next up is my DJI Pocket 3. I don't have it in here because it is filming right now this top-down shot. Then my K&F Concept MS11. This is the small little travel tripod for my Pocket 3. What's so cool about it is you can basically extend it and have a little bit more wiggle room in terms of height, how you want to film yourself or whatever might be. I like to keep this always with me because I am filming these bag reviews on the go as well. Then I have my headphones. These are the Sennheiser HD25. These are awesome. I have been using these for DJing back in the days, and I honestly think that this is the tech item that I have been using the longest in my arsenal of tech items. So highly can recommend these. And the cool thing about this, everything is replaceable and you can buy everything new if something breaks. Then I have my mechanical keyboard in here. This is the timber keyboard with custom keycaps and custom switches. I exchanged the switches to Cherry MX yellow switches. And I like to have my own peripherals with me because I am working at the workstation of my client, and yes, sometimes the keyboards aren't that nice or clean, and I like to have my own peripherals like mouse and keyboard. So this is my timber keyboard that I customized. Next up, obviously everyone uses a tech pouch, and my tech pouch of choice is the Evergood Cap 2 liters. In here I have my MX Master. This is the first edition. I am on my workstation using the MX Master 3, but this one is still working fine, and therefore I use it to bring with me to a client. If I would kind of leave it there, it wouldn't be a big deal because I still have my other mouse at home. Nevertheless, I put the unified receiver on this USB hub with my contact information, so I just plug this in here and I won't kind of leave just the dongle at the computer. I will always be reminded, oh, my unified receiver is on this big dongle that is on the workstation. Obviously I could use Bluetooth, but from my experience with the Logitech MX Master series, be it the first edition, the second or the third edition that I'm using at my Mac Studio, Bluetooth can be a little bit spotty sometimes depending on all of the items that are surrounding it. And on my workstation I have a lot of electrical stuff, so I feel that the Bluetooth isn't as reliable as this unified receiver. That is why I use that one. Then I have some more dongles, a small SSD from Shark as well, a Moleskine notebook from Orbitgear to write down some work notes, my charger which has a dock case on here which transforms the MacBook Pro charger into a USB hub as well. Then a lot of cables in here. I always like to bring my own cables just in case, and then I also stick my Samsung T5 SSDs in here which have all of the work projects. And on this Cap 2 there is another morale patch. This is a Ranger Eye for my YKT Originals. That is basically everything that I pack inside all of the everyday carry work bags. And now let's start with the review of each single bag. Man, bags are definitely amazing because they're so highly personal for every person. It's totally different how they use them, how they pack them, how they configure their loadouts, not only what they pack inside, but how, using packing cubes, using all of the slots and stuff like that. So once you load the bag, it becomes very emotional and maybe also passionate topic for everyone who uses the bag. Not only the bag enthusiasts, but also the bag regulars, let's say it that way. So for some people, packing a bag is a chore or it becomes tedious. Still, while it is a negative emotion, it is still an emotion. And for us bag enthusiasts, it's a fun experience to pack a bag, to check out the new bag, how you want to load it out, what do you want to use, all of the slots, maybe none of the slots, how much can you pack inside, how do you want to carry the bag. And as I said, it's a very passionate, personal, emotional experience because it is such an individual experience. While two people can have the same bag, the loadouts and how they use the bags will be completely different. And that's what's so interesting about bags, in my humble opinion. And that is why I basically want to make this video about the 3 office bags or everyday carry bags that I currently find so interesting. Everyday carry bags, and especially office bags, basically are the pure definition of why bags and backpacks are so interesting, at least to me. And I know that some of you watch this video because one of the 3 bags are interesting to you. Others of you just watch these bag videos because, just like me, you enjoy bags that much because they are so personal. And everyday carry office bags are the pure definition. Also travel bags, of course, but I feel because everyday carry bags, as the name implies, are bags that you use every day, are the pure definition of why they are so personal and so individual. Every single day you use that bag to carry your work items, and for you and for the next person and the next person, it's always different, and that is what's so cool about it. And that's basically why I wanted to show you these everyday carry bags. And for the purpose of this review, I kept the loadout, as you have been seeing, the same as possible to keep the review level plain and simple. And is that how you say it? To keep the review playing field level? Yeah, but I think you know what I mean. It's more or less the same, and I've been using these bags for a project that I'm editing currently. Unfortunately, I had to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, so a confidentiality agreement, which is why I can't show you a lot of my work day, unfortunately, but I tried to film without obviously showing any of the screens, or if there is a screen, I obviously close down Premiere or blur it, so I'm not showing anything of that footage. So it's only about the bags during my day. And in this review period, it was a mix of working at home, riding to the office with my motorcycle or with the car, but I also used it for everyday tasks like going to the supermarket, for example. Alright, with that out of the way, let's start the review. Okay, now let's talk about this Groundtruth RIKR Everyday Carry Backpack 20 liters. I have been using this as my work backpack, as mentioned in the introduction, for a client project where I had a mix of remote editing at the client's office, and I rode either a motorcycle or drove my car. And if I had to give this bag a name, I would call this the environmentally urban styled backpack. I really like this design of the backpack. It is maybe not for everyone, because if I had to give this a description, maybe it's a little bit utilitarian in terms of look and in terms of choices of materials. While everything is environmentally friendly, it has a specific, I lack the proper adjective for it, but I would say utilitarian and urban, maybe with this black, a little bit dystopian, and with this triagonal pattern on here, it feels a little bit dystopian. And it is a very water resistant fabric where water and dirt can splash on here and you can easily wipe it off. That being said, the hyperlon underneath here got a little bit, not scuffed, but I put it on the ground next to my motorcycle, and there was some gravel, and yeah, it left these white spots on here. I haven't tried to remove it with a wet cloth yet, but compared to the other fabrics, it is not as easy to wipe off like on this. The zippers are YKK AquaGuard zippers that are very easy and smooth to operate. While I really liked these zippers, when I packed the bag and it was really full, and I kind of stuffed it, to be fair, it was a little bit more difficult to close the zippers. And while I don't anticipate them to be breaking, I always kind of feared that if I struggled too much with the zipper because I overpacked the bag, I feared that I kind of could dislodge them or anything. It's not because the zippers are low quality, it's just because they are smaller, and again, as I said, I overpacked a little bit and I was struggling kind of closing it, and I got this thought in my head, oh, if I over stress the zipper now, would they break? They didn't, but I would have loved a little bit more of a beefier zipper here. But I can understand in terms of aesthetic and in terms of durability and function, in terms of balancing function and durability. And look, these zippers, or the size of these zippers, are sufficient enough. And as I said, I overpacked it a little bit because I packed my office equipment, but also a t-shirt and a small little windbreaker, because on one hand I thought, oh, this is going to be a hot day, but on the other hand I thought, oh, what if they have air conditioning at the office? So I brought this jacket and an extra t-shirt if I would sweat on the motorcycle, and therefore it was kind of overpacked. If it would have just been my office equipment that I mentioned in the introduction, then everything fits in here quite well, but with the t-shirt and the jacket I was overloading it a little bit. The bag was very comfortable to carry around with all of the items inside. It was actually getting very heavy, and on the motorcycle it was very comfortable. Oh, I've been using this jacket from Orbitgear for a while in the summer because it's A, waterproof and windproof and not too thick to get too hot in the summer. And even if it gets too hot, you have a few air channels or air vents that you can open up, and then air comes through these mesh panels, which is a really good idea. But furthermore, if it's even getting too hot, you have two straps. You take off the jacket and you still have the straps on your shoulders, and then you carry basically the jacket as if it would be a backpack. So I really like this jacket from Orbitgear. Due to the, let's say, slim form factor, this actually was streamlined on my motorcycle. I didn't notice any side winds. Sometimes when I have bigger bags or a big duffel, when I'm going to the gym with my North Face base camp duffel, that is obviously a completely different beast, but you feel side winds with most backpacks. This was very slim, and I feel that makes this a very good everyday carry backpack because it doesn't like bulk you up too much while still being able to carry a lot of items. All of the items fit in here quite well. And you have these mesh pockets up here, down here, and then you have another zippered pocket down there. While it is a good addition, I felt it's very difficult to get to, and while it is good to have, I don't need it. Yeah, again, your mileage might vary, you might need it, but I didn't. All of the other pockets, especially this mesh drop-in pocket, was great to utilize the whole vertical space. And you see this Bellroy pencil case and my Sennheiser HD25 headphones are in this mesh drop-in pocket, which helps for these items not to just slide down and, as I said, utilize the whole vertical space. My extended EDC was in this mesh pocket, albeit a little bit big. It got sometimes in the way, but that's not the fault of this bag, but rather the, in air quotes, the fault of me using this very bulky extended EDC. You have on the shoulder straps, which are thin but still padded enough and have this breathable mesh. At least that's what most companies call this, breathable mesh. From my experience, any backpack, any back panel, any shoulder strap, if it's hot enough, you will get sweaty on that part. It will create some heat spots, and I feel air regulating mesh is it's marketing speak. From my experience, you will sweat underneath the shoulder straps anyway. That being said, this is, I feel, the perfect size and thickness for a shoulder bag in an everyday carry. Not too big to get too bulky, not too thin and not too slim to not be comfortable on your back. And as I said, on the motorcycle, this felt amazing. You have a removable sternum strap with a fitlock. I don't like fitlocks, especially not these ones, but this one on the sternum strap is sufficient enough. You have strap-in organizers. These are just these elastics. Don't like them that much, but it's better than nothing. Load lifters on the top with strap-in organizers. This is great. If you adjust these and you ride on the motorcycle with some load lifters, the straps like dangle in the wind and hit your helmet, and it is getting a little bit noisy, and that's annoying. So it's cool that they have strap-in organizers on the load lifters. You have the top handle. I would have wished there would have been a side handle. This top handle is cool, but yeah, as I said, the side handle would be great. There is a luggage pass-through that you can hide away. Good to have, rarely use them, but I know that some of you will look for this, especially if you're traveling with a rolling case. And one important factor, this has a rounded bottom, so it doesn't stand up on its own. It will flop over when you stand it on the ground. Didn't matter for me, but I know many of you need a backpack to stand up on its own, especially in the office. Other than that, before I forget, the laptop compartment is very well padded, and it is, I would say, 2 centimeters or an inch suspended from the ground, so your laptop is secured if you drop it too quickly on the ground. You have 2 bottle slots on the outside, which I didn't use because, as mentioned, I overpacked the bag a little bit, and the items inside kind of bulk out the bag and therefore limit the space of the water bottle compartment. The water bottle compartment flex outwards, but I feel if the bag is overloaded like I did, it will be difficult to get a bigger bottle inside, so keep that in mind. There's also a reflective and a little loop here, so this reflective is great on a motorcycle because the bag is black, and having some form of visibility, albeit a very small one, is great. If you are a bicycle rider, I can imagine you can attach a bicycle light on this loop here, but overall it is a very dark bag, and if you are riding with this on your bicycle or motorcycle in the dark, please be wary that this makes you a little bit less visible. That is why I would love if more companies would add like this material that is reflective but still dark. That would be amazing if more companies would use that or utilize that kind of fabric, but I understand not many people need that kind of stuff. So I would say this bag is amazing for everyday carry. If you carry a lot of smaller items, maybe you want to use all of these pockets instead of using pouches, then this is great to organize all of your items, and you can fit a lot of stuff in here while not being too big to kind of force you or kind of tempt you to overpack, and easily carry all of that stuff to work. Now let me just unpack this bag and put everything into the next bag, which will be the bag that I call the most stylish office business professional bag. Before we go over the Groundtruth backpack, a quick word from Mukama.com, who are sponsoring a segment of this video.
Introducing the Mukama Gear of the Month. Fun fact, I have been reviewing bags for almost 10 years, and 10 years ago the James brand made their first knife, the Chapter. Now they released the Chapter 2. The James brand improved a fan favorite by listening to the community and changed it to a tip-up carry orientation. Furthermore, it now features a fully machined titanium pocket clip, an American-made S35VN super steel blade that moves fast and smoothly into position with the sealed ceramic bearings and then locks with the titanium frame lock. These features alone make the Chapter 2 a great companion in your EDC. But moreover, it just looks amazing. Get your The James brand Chapter 2 at Mukama.com, a European store for all your bag and EDC needs.
Okay, let's talk about the Groundtruth backpack, which I would consider the business professional and also unisex bag of the bags that I mentioned in this roundup video for the office for everyday carry. Because it is made out of leather opposed to the other bags that are made either of Cordura or any other synthetic fabric, and its look, I feel it is very suitable, no pun intended, for anyone wearing a suit, a button up or button down. I'm not sure. Is it called button up or button down shirt? I'm not sure. Or a two-piece outfit, female who want to dress appropriately for the office or just casually, but don't want to kind of use a very, let's say, male-looking backpack or bulky-looking backpack, because I hear it from my wife more often enough that she would not wear, for example, a go rock bag, obviously, with her outfit. And she does want to have a bag that fits the outfit overall. So I feel that this bag, the Grams 28, is very suitable for unisex use, but also for the office, or if you are having somewhat of a fashion sense and don't want to mess up the overall look. And not only is it good looking, but also it does appeal to bag enthusiasts, but more importantly also users who want to carry a camera, because it's not only an, let's say, office bag with good looks, but it also is able to transform into a camera bag, because the bottom part is basically an open camera cube. So you have these Velcro dividers that are padded, that are soft lined, that you can see from camera bags as well. So you can configure the bottom part with these dividers to fit your camera and your lenses, but also there are slots for camera filters, which, as I said, makes this very appealing to a camera user who wants to carry the camera but doesn't want the bag to look like a camera bag. But more importantly, also, most camera bags, they look like camera bags and they don't kind of blend in with your look. So this being a good looking bag with a camera cube at the bottom actually makes this pretty cool for wedding photographers who want to dress up appropriately for the occasion but don't want to mess up the look with a regular Lover Pro camera bag, for instance, that doesn't look that great on you when you're wearing a button-down or button-up shirt or a suit. So that is a very cool idea for this bag, which makes the bag more attractive to a wider target demographic. You have a quick access compartment in the front, which makes the bag somewhat look like a cooler version of the JanSport or of a classic backpack. So a classic backpack for me is just this rounded top silhouette with a flat bottom so it stands up on its own, and the top-loading main compartment with this quick access compartment at the bottom in the front. So this is, for me personally, a classic silhouette design. You have a hidden quick access compartment in the back where you also can find a luggage pass through, which makes it great for your wallet. I'm using the Extra wallet, or maybe your passport. The quick access compartment in the front has this cool miniature Cobra buckle, which gives the whole bag a very cool little touch that also kind of announces, oh, this is not just a fashion bag, but it is also a bag for bag enthusiasts, because we're using proper hardware and proper materials. And inside you can find a small zippered slot, so not much to it. Honestly, I would also not use this for important valuable items, because it is obviously very easy accessible for pickpockets, but it is good to have to quickly store smaller items to grab on the go. The main compartment is a top-loading compartment where you have in the lid 2 mesh pockets that are great for smaller items, but in my experience are not that great to store bigger items, to which I get in just a second. Then you have a zippered compartment, which also isn't that spacious. And I want to go through all of the features first and then kind of let you know about these compartments. And you have an extra laptop compartment where there is kind of like an open drop-in slot, so that the additional items that you put into the laptop compartment don't just slide down to the bottom, to kind of utilize the whole vertical space of that compartment. Now, I was packing all of the stuff that I mentioned in the beginning. That being said, The bag, while it was able to fit all of the stuff, it was quite the task to put all of the items inside, and I was kind of forcing it to shut close with all of the items that I mentioned in the introduction. So while I was able to put all of those items inside, I in the end took out my headphones and all of the extra clothing that I was able to fit inside the Groundtruth bag. I did not bring those. The bag is definitely able to fit the whole volume and the whole capacity of the bag, but it is a chore, and therefore I would kind of deduct maybe 1 or 2 liters of the stated capacity of the bag. More importantly, besides it feeling smaller, the lid and the overall opening of the bag, so the most important part of the bag where you load stuff in, is tight. It is not as... Did that sound a little bit weird? It is tight. Not sure, that was weird, sorry about that. So it is smaller. It is not easy to fit your stuff into the main compartment because due to the leather, it is obviously not broken in leather. In my humble opinion, leather needs at least a couple of months to properly kind of get softer and mold to the stuff that is inside. For example, to a shoe, leather boots need some time to mold to your feet, and then they get incredibly comfortable, and I feel that is the same with leather bags. But due to the leather being not as flexible, even once it is broken in, it's not as flexible as Cordura, for instance, and therefore it always kind of flops back when you want to load stuff inside. But more importantly, it doesn't kind of give you a lot of leeway or wiggle room, for the lack of a better word, to put bigger items inside. Therefore, I was having a very hard time to put my Evergoods cap 2 liters, which granted is a very big pouch. It was difficult to kind of maneuver it inside. Moreover, getting stuff outside, if it's fully loaded, is also very difficult. So I always had to kind of take everything out and then put everything neatly and cautiously back inside to kind of maneuver the somewhat tight opening and tight space of the main compartment. That being said, I want to acknowledge this being a camera bag and having some padded cube area in the bottom. I do feel that I am maybe being a special case for this bag. I feel that people who want to use this bag probably won't utilize pouches and just kind of chuck everything in, utilize some of the mesh pockets at the top, and aren't as hardcore as I am and do not carry a mechanical keyboard, do not carry a tech pouch as big as the Evergoods cap 2 liters. So I do need to acknowledge that I might be a special use case. Next, let's talk about pricing. I usually do not mention pricing in my videos because due to me being in Germany and being, let's say, exposed to very expensive international shipping fees, custom fees, and let's say limited availability in the EU with most bags that I review, I feel it is much more appropriate not to mention prices and say that it's better for you to just Google the item and then see if there is a local seller in the place where you're living, so you don't potentially have to deal with international shipping fees and custom fees. That's why I usually do not mention any pricing. And even for some bags, if you get them in Europe, they usually are much more expensive because the store obviously will factor in their international shipping fees and their custom fees that they had to pay when they got the bag in stock. So that is why I usually do not mention pricing. But with this bag, I think I need to mention the pricing. It is a very expensive bag. But it is a very expensive bag. Is it worth it? Yes and no. And it really depends on the person that you are. Because I think Grams 28 is competing with this bag in a completely different space. I believe they compete in the space of luxury bag brands like Tumi, Rimowa, high quality leather bag brands that I do not know. So depending on the customer that you are, you might be used to bags in that price range. And especially with leather bags. I mean, there is a Hermes Birkin bag that is 20,000 euros upwards. Is that bag worth the price? Probably not. Is the target demographic willing to pay that price for that bags? Yes, they are. Those are very popular luxury bags. Then also Tumi bags, for example, the Casey Neistat Tumi backpack that I mentioned, that is also very expensive compared to other bags that I usually review. The bags that I usually review also are expensive, and I know that many mainstream people are asking, why do you pay so much for that kind of bag? Because they don't value high quality bags like bag enthusiasts do. We bag enthusiasts don't value luxury bags like those luxury people do. So yeah, again, is the price tag justified? Maybe not if you compare it to the bag enthusiast space. But if you are in the luxury market and you are usually kind of like buying Tumi bags or a $20,000 Hermes bag, then maybe it's valid for you. But I want to kind of do a comparison or a metaphor. I'm driving a smart car right now. Is a Lamborghini a great car? Is it one of the best sports cars ever? Maybe. It's great. It's probably a very cool car where I can say, well, it's a great car. Probably the price is justified. Is it justified for me? Definitely not. I'm driving a smart car. I'm currently in Hamburg in the so-called in the Schanze district. Getting a parking spot here is really difficult. So me having a smart car is, in my humble opinion, the best idea ever because I can park almost anywhere with this car. Is this a good car in comparison to a Lamborghini? No way. But the Lamborghini is way too expensive for me. And yeah, therefore I don't drive it. It's not for me. It's still a cool car, but I would never buy it. And I feel like the Grams 28 bag is a similar example for it. It is very expensive. Is it justified for me? No, it's not. For someone else, it definitely might be. So yeah, that's just something I really wanted to kind of mention. So bottom line, this is a very cool bag. I do like the look. I do like the aesthetics, and I can see a lot of people working in an office, a lot of female as well. My wife does like the look a lot. I can see those target people being attracted to this bag, and I think I can recommend it to those people. Are you a photographer looking for a good looking bag when you have a wedding gig? Then this might be it. This might be the bag for you. That being said, keep in mind the opening of the bag is not that great. So if you're having a big camera rig, it might be difficult to get to your camera. Also, the camera cube is at the bottom. Anything else that you put into the bag will lie on top of the camera. So you will need to get that stuff out first to get to your camera. So there are a few trade-offs with this bag that you really need to keep in mind before investing in this high price tag bag. And for anyone else, I would probably say, if you want the look, yeah, take a look at the bag. For anyone else, I would say there are a couple of other bags that are very good looking and very suitable for the office as well. Maybe not made out of leather, but do what you want with your money. And I would love to know from you, do you think the price tag of this bag is justified? Again, keep in mind, this is probably not necessarily for you. This is a luxury bag. With that in mind, again, would you consider getting this bag? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, as a very important reminder, I am shooting with the display off on my camera. When you're driving, please do not get distracted. Do not text and drive. Do not look at any display when you're driving. Always look at the street. As I said, intentionally switched off the display and I talk to it as I would be on the speakerphone. So please always drive carefully and do not get distracted while driving.
So the two previously mentioned bags were 20 liters in capacity, which I consider pretty good capacity for everyday carry. However, I also mentioned in those segments that I was kind of overloading those bags, so I wanted to give you an alternative. This is the Alpaka Gear Shift V2 pack and has a capacity of 35 liters, giving you much more room to pack, just as crazy as I do if you want to carry a mechanical keyboard and stuff like that. So as just mentioned, this Alpaka Gear Shift V2 pack is 35 liters in capacity and therefore much bigger than the other two bags in this roundup video. Although 35 liters already scrapes the capacity of a carry-on travel backpack, I think this is still a very valid choice for anyone who wants to have a little bit more capacity during the day, especially if you're carrying this much equipment like I do for work. I mean, I totally understand not everyone is carrying a mechanical keyboard, a big tech pouch in addition to the laptop and stuff like that. So I understand that this might be too big for some people, but I do see some people actually needing this more capacity. Also, this being a roll top loading backpack gives you some more flexibility in what you can pack maybe later on during the day. For example, if you want to go grocery shopping right after work. Also, the roll top opening, or rather closing, makes the items inside the main compartment a little bit more protected from the elements if you get into rain, for example. Overall, the materials and how it is made makes everything inside very water resistant and water protected. You have AquaGuard YKK zippers and overall construction is great. That being said, I have to say in the beginning when I unpacked this bag, I was from first impressions a little bit disappointed by the shoulder strap. The first impressions when I touched the bag, when I took it out of the box and when I touched the shoulder straps, I initially had the feeling of it feeling a little bit, or I perceived it as cheaper. And yeah, I don't know, because it is very thin and the way it felt at first impression, I thought, oh, this is somewhat of a cheaper construction for the shoulder straps. However, during my testing phase, carrying it around, I can say that the shoulder straps do feel comfortable and do feel solid with everything packed inside. The padding on this shoulder strap has this very unique hexagonal, or I don't know, pyramids kind of shape. It looks very futuristic, and while it feels unique in your hands, it doesn't add anything to the feel on the shoulders. It just feels like a shoulder strap to me. And this being thinner, at first I thought this wouldn't give me enough like structure to carry the bag comfortable, but because the straps are fairly wide, it actually distributes the weight very good on these contact points for the shoulder straps. You have strap-in organizers, but again, these are just the very basic elastics at the end that do tend to kind of slide up and then you forget them and the strap ends dangle in the wind anyways. The back panel is very comfortable and yeah, it's nothing special. You have a luggage pass through here to put the bag sideways onto your rolling luggage. The top handle, also nothing special, nothing to write home about. It does its job, but it's not specialist top handle. It is softer, so it's comfortable to carry, but yeah, I do prefer if there would be a little bit more attention to detail with top handles and with side handles. This does not have a side handle. I kind of wish that, because due to its capacity, this could be used for a travel bag. I wish that there would be side handles, because I like to carry bigger bags on the side handles. I'm a short person. When I'm walking stairs and I carry the bag with the top handle, because it is so big, it is longer. These kind of carry-on bags usually or sometimes kind of bump against the stairs when I'm walking upstairs. So I do like to have a side handle. And as I said, with this size, I think a side handle could be expected or would have been great. For an everyday carry bag, I don't need a side handle, but for a bag with this capacity that could be utilized as a travel bag, side handle would be great. However, you have two bottle compartments, left and right, and this bottle compartment, even when fully loaded, was able to fit a 1.5 liters water bottle in this water bottle compartment, and very comfortably. Now, let's go over what kind of compartments you have. The front has this really cool admin section, admin compartment, where you have a bunch of slots to organize your items. I initially put my Bellroy pencil case in here. While that works, the zippers always came across this pouch, so I just put it in here. I have my sunglasses, a pen, then I put the DJI Pocket 3 in this compartment on here. It's currently filming me, of course. A notebook, my phone stand. This opens up fairly wide, so as you just saw when I opened it, all of this stuff kind of slide around. But what I did is, when I loaded it up, I only opened it to yay high, so all of the stuff still keeps fairly organized in position, but you can totally open up, completely fold it up. These are some anchor points for the additional Alpaka Gear, I'm not sure what they are called, but for your keys, and then they have some other modular things that you can attach to here. I did not do that because it's already fairly full, but I actually really enjoyed using this admin panel. At first I thought, I didn't like that too much because everything flops around, but when I noticed, I don't need to open it up completely, so everything stays in place, I found this admin panel to be amazing to organize all of my stuff. But there is a little flaw with this compartment, but I want to go over through the pockets first. Then at the bottom here, you have a quick access compartment with this rain flap closing to kind of make this pocket a little bit more unnoticed. I only use this for quick storage for my car keys or the park ticket. But yeah, I only utilize this pocket for quick access, but not for anything important. Then on the back you have the laptop compartment with a laptop slot that is very well padded but also is suspended. Furthermore, I just got myself this little keyboard that works very well with my Samsung Fold 5. Oh, by the way, if you want to get any of these items, I will put affiliate links in the description below. If you want to buy any of those items and you also want to support this channel, you would be awesome to use one of those affiliate links, because you won't pay more, but you will support this channel with a small kickback of that sale. And if you do so, thank you very much. So I just got this little keyboard. It is small, but all of the keys are somewhat in completely different spaces. For example, the hashtag that is down here, so it is a little bit weird, but I understand in order for this being this small, you need to have some trade-offs. Kind of like this a lot to use with my Fold 5. Then there is also a zippered opening to get to the main compartment, but instead of opening up that, let's open up this Fitlock magnetic buckle. This is from Maglocks, a magnetic buckle to open the roll top opening. Then there is the zipper, and now if we look inside, we have my pocket for the mechanical keyboard. It's currently on my computer, my Sennheiser HD25 headphones, the Evergoods Cap 2, basically all of the items that I already mentioned in the beginning. And you can get to the main compartment by opening this zippered wall, and you get basically to the main compartment like so. It's a cool addition if you don't want to open up the roll top and maybe just get to your items via the laptop compartment. But truth to be told, never used this feature. It's good to have, not for me, I didn't need it. And that's basically it. Now let's talk about the negatives of this bag. This fitlock opening, this strap is cool, but it has somewhat of a strap and organizer, as you can see here. It's also again somewhat of an elastic. In the beginning I just kept it like this, and what really annoyed me is when you close the laptop compartment and you don't take care of this strap end, then it will always get in your way. That is why you need to kind of fold this up like so, and then use the strap end organizer to keep the strap end in place like this. That way it won't interfere when you want to close the laptop slot. Next thing, if you are in the office and you have the bag open, basically you got all of your stuff, and then you go to your admin panel. Probably if you are in the office, you don't close up the bag completely, so therefore this strap is dangling around. You go to your front admin panel, get your stuff, and maybe you think, oh, let's close that up. This gets in your way again. So that really annoyed me to some degree. It's not a big deal. I do understand that that is not a big deal, but it does get in your way, and it does get a little bit annoying that this is that close to that pocket and this strap end also getting in your way. So you need to make sure that you always keep it tidy. That annoyed me. It's not a big deal. I understand it's not a big deal. I'm nitpicking a little bit. I understand that, but I just wanted to let you know that that could be an issue. But other than that, I have to say this bag performed really well. Next up is the main compartment. This front admin panel, somewhat depending on what you get inside, digs into the main compartment. Not by much, but enough to get in your way. So approximately here I can feel my extra wallet in one of the compartments. It's not by much, but it is enough that if you want to put anything in there, see how it kind of blocks the way. So you kind of need to force your items a little bit inside depending on how many items you got in this front compartment. It's not the end of the world, but still something that you need to be aware of if you pack this out and depending on what items you have in the front compartment. Other than that, I did not find too many negatives with this bag. I really enjoy using this front admin panel. I did not think that I would in the beginning, but in the end I actually did like to utilize this pocket a lot because I was able to get to all of my stuff and organize them very easily and very neatly in this panel. And it is very big, and either you have it only open a little bit to keep everything in place, or you open it up completely and then have a quick look at everything that is inside. Also, the lining being bright makes it easy to see and to find your items. Obviously, this is a top-loading backpack. Any small items in the main compartment that are in here, you will kind of need to dig around, and also if there's something at the bottom, you will need to get everything out that is on top of it, which is basically why I prefer clamshell loading backpacks overall. No matter, this is cool to pack everything, to carry all of your items around, and if you want bigger option compared to the other two in this review, then I think you should take a look at this Alpaka Gear if you also like top loading bag, and if you want to potentially use this bag as a carry-on backpack as well. I do like having an item be a little bit more multi-purpose. Okay, that was the roundup of the 3 office bags that I found very interesting at the moment. One eco-friendly, one luxurious, and one that is very spacious. Which one of these bags do you like the most? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, don't forget, if you consider getting one of these bags, please also consider using one of the affiliate links to support this channel, because you won't pay more, but you will send over a small kickback of that sale. And yeah, this video got much longer than I anticipated. If you watched the whole video from the front to the end, maybe comment below not only any questions that you have or which bags that you like, but maybe also, let's say, a backpack emoji or something like that. If you watched the whole video, thank you very much, you're awesome. And if you're still looking for an office bag, check out the video up here, and YouTube thinks that you might like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking this little icon up here. Thank you very much for watching this very long video, and I see you in the next video, and of course, stay safe and healthy everyone. Thank you very much.